It's very much okay to say no whenever someone crosses your boundary. And it's very much okay if you don't want to help someone when you are struggling on your own. It's very much okay to not go to a party when you don't want to. It's very much okay even if you love someone and constantly say no when they keep on crossing your boundary. It's very much okay to put yourself first whenever somebody tries to put you down. Hi, guys, this is me, Sapna, and today we're going to be talking about everything setting boundaries because the girl you are seeing here was a girl who never knew how to set a boundary because she was always empathetic. She was never taught to say no whenever someone needed her help, and turned out most of my problem were because I was a people pleaser and I didn't know how to set boundaries. So, in this video, with my own journey, with my own experiences, I'm going to talk about everything setting boundaries and how I learned from multiple videos, multiple books, and it's okay to say no sometimes and not agree with other people's opinion. You can listen to them, but it doesn't mean that they are right. And how to set boundary with yourself but also with other people and respect their boundaries. It's not always about setting boundaries by ourselves but also respecting other people's boundary. So let's get into the video, and first topic is there are different types of boundaries. First is emotional, second is your material, third is your time and energy, fourth is your mental, and fifth is your physical. So there are different kinds of boundary, not just one boundary. You have different kind of boundaries and they are made to be set. So just set the boundary. So let's get into the video and get into the first part of it. And I'm going to start with emotional boundary. So, emotional boundary is when somebody calls you and trauma dumps on you, and you couldn't just say, hey, I myself am struggling right now. Can we talk later? Because for over the years, you were taught whenever someone is struggling, you have to be there for them. Why? When you are struggling, you should be the first priority. And in my every video, I say you should be the first one on your priority list. Because if you're going to be the first one on your priority list, you are going to be a better person. So when you help someone and don't put yourself first at that moment of time, just know that you are putting yourself up for resentment for that person later on, because then and there you should be putting the boundaries, but you didn't choose yourself and chose the other person and their opinion, and just be ready for all the intrusive thought and mental movie you went through. So let's take an example right now. You have a friend, very good friend. Let's say you are friends from childhood and they are feeling doomed. They are going through a very hard period of time, but at the same time, you are also going through a very hard period of time. So if you cannot help them, right? First of all, I want to clear if you are yourself struggling, your own brain won't be in your code. It will be in different zone. It will not be healthy enough to give someone or listen to someone and give them a better energy. So it's better to not talk. So it's also good for them. So if you're saying no, you are also helping the other person and also helping yourself. And this is like a perspective change. So why be there for someone when you are not even 10% ready for it? Whenever you want to talk to someone and help someone, you should be there fully, else there is no meaning of it. So, and you are not at all, you don't owe anybody any kind of explanation when you are setting a boundary emotionally. If you don't want to listen to someone, if you don't want to listen to anybody's story or anything they are going through and it's triggering for you when you are going through your own mental problems, then just ignore. Just say, hey, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm myself going through a lot of stuff. And it's just 3 simple words just with your friends. And if just there is someone who randomly came to you and started speaking their traumas, because people love to trauma dump, and you are not capable, just stand up calmly, smile, and say, I have to go somewhere. This is how I started setting boundaries. This is how I started doing it. Even after having immense amount of guilt. Immense, trust me. Because a girl who was taught all these years to say yes to everything whenever she was going through a lot of stuff had to really say no. But that changed my life. When I said no, I was like, that's the greatest thing. And I don't feel as bad later on as I used to when I used to say yes. So it slowly started changing. And that's the best part. And that's the one favor you can do to yourself. And also start respecting other people's boundary. If you are in a relationship and your partner wants space, give them that space. Because that space is very important. If you are not going to give them that space, it's going to create more mess, because when we get space, we think better. So we should not only care about ourselves, we should also care about other people's boundary. Because when we respect other people's boundary, then we also know how to respect our own boundaries. It's always like how you are respecting other people's boundary. Because if you cannot respect your own boundaries, how can you respect other people's boundary? And that doesn't build a good relationship. In a relationship, there should be a strong boundary. Many people told me that there shouldn't be a boundary when it comes to friendships, but for me, it saved me from a lot of bad friendships and filtered out bad friendships for me. So I say, whenever there is a bad friendship, you have the right to call it off. Many people have their trauma with friendships, and they believe that whenever they have a problem, like with friendships, and they have a trauma, they usually try to put pressure their emotions or trauma response on you. But you have to be very calm in those situations and believe that you are the one who should be taking decisions. And if something you built over the years and have great friendships, it means that you are doing it right. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be changing. You are always changeable, and you should always be okay with changing. But it doesn't mean that you always listen to other people. Whatever they are saying it right. Even if it's your friend, it's okay if they have their own traumas with it. Whatever their beliefs and values are, they can go ahead with that. But whatever your belief and your values are, and whatever you believe, you can set a boundary that I believe in this thing, and I'm not okay with keeping people who crosses my boundary and messes with my head. As simple as that. And that's very much okay. And which brings us to our second point, which is material boundary. So, what is a material boundary? It's not when you need a materialistic thing, So you have to set a boundary that I need it. No, that's not a material boundary. Material boundary is when you have something which is very close to your heart and you don't want to share it with anybody. So if somebody asks for it, you either tell them that, hey, I want it to be back to me in good pieces and should be, uh, and I just want to share it with my close friends, and I have this value, and this is my this is what I believe in. So I don't want to share it with a friend I don't know, or I just started to know you. I'm not going to share my clothes with you. For me, my clothes are very important and they play a very big role because I love them a lot. So I don't like sharing my clothes with everybody. I just love sharing it with my close ones or whom I love or care for, or someone who is very, very close to me. I only like sharing my clothes with them, not anybody else. And that's my clear boundary. So, which brings us to our third point, which is time and energy. So, when you will learn to set a boundary with your time and energy, whom you are giving your time, whom you are giving your energy, whom you are staying in contact with, and whom you have to withdraw. And if someone is constantly asking for your time, even let's take an example, you have a friend and they have a friend, like it's a friend's of friend, and they need a help, like with my counseling or something I am good at. I and if I am drained, if I'm not fine, if I don't have a capacity, then I will say a big no, that I'm sorry, you are important to me, and if I'm drained, this period of time is important for me to prioritize myself rather than prioritizing everybody else or someone I am not in a contact with. So when it's a friend's of friend and you don't set a boundary and you say yes, like, okay, let's do it, because you, at the end of the time, you are a people pleaser and you are like, what she will think, even if they don't know you or they might even not care. But your head is like, maybe they don't think good about me or I'm a bad person. Let that guilt sink in, because it's okay to choose yourself when you need it. And it's okay to say no to a friend when they are in need, but you are not okay yourself. Because I myself struggled a lot, but I am okay with saying people no now because I know it saves me a lot of my precious energy and life force, because I don't want to give it to people who I know are not adding to my energy. And sometimes I really believe in energy. I really believe that I want to talk to someone, and then only I do it. Whenever I feel the pull, I only talk to those people, and it's very natural. I have never regretted it, but my energy also declines a lot of people, which saves me a lot of time. But this has been built after a lot of experiences, so it's built in. So whenever we share our time and energy with someone and not set a strong boundary, then just be ready to overshare something which you don't want to do. So take a pause whenever you are talking to someone who's not your friend, and even if you started talking and you didn't respect your boundary, so it's okay. Once a mistake, is okay, but just think twice. Here I have made a list I have learned from a very good doctor on YouTube. So, first thing is, don't share your medical conditions. Second, which is your mental health condition, don't share it. Third is your issues with parents, close friends, or someone who is in your family tree. Fourth is your past trauma experiences. Fifth is your past problem in romantic relationship, controversial political views, controversial religious views, and finances, which also includes your salary, debts, spending habits, everything. And I want to say, because I believe in this with my whole heart, that it's not at all okay to share about your life to just anybody. Someone should first earn your trust fully, and then you see that do they really deserve my story, do they really deserve what I have to speak. Let them speak first to you and then see where you can go with it. And which brings us to our mental um, boundaries, which is uh, you should always set a mental boundary. Like, I would say, you have a friend, right? And you don't have the capacity to talk to that friend right now, and you are not mentally fit or exhausted, then there is no point to talk to them, and rather leave it. And it should always be yourself first and then somebody else. And if there is not you first, then you will always have a problem. Because when we learn to set boundaries, we always gain a lot of trust in ourselves, and we get to know what is right, what is wrong, what is a red flag, what is a green flag, and you're better at trusting yourself. Because when you set strong boundaries, you know that I am okay with this. And also set boundaries in your relationship, in your friendships, because setting boundaries means I want to keep you in my life. That's why I'm setting a boundary. And if I don't want to keep you in my life, I don't feel the need to keep you. I don't feel the need to explain to you. So I always explain to my friends that if I'm setting a boundary, if I'm telling you something I'm not liking and saying that I will leave if this continues, then it's me setting a boundary and I'm okay with it. Because it's me telling that if it keeps on happening, you will lose me, and it's not threatening. It's telling you that I love you, I want you in my life, but I'm telling you that this can break our relationship, and this is my boundary. So if you can respect it, it's good. If you cannot, then it's okay. You don't value the friendship, we have to part ways. And there is no point to be in a friendship like this, because life is beautiful and we should always have beautiful friends around me. And the last one is physical boundaries. You should never touch someone if they don't want to, be it in friendship, be it in relationship, anywhere. If first, mainly in workplace, if somebody is extremely touchy, you should always tell them, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this and I don't like it, so if you keep on doing this, I'm going to take an action. So it's okay to say that, don't be feared, just do it, and don't keep on telling that. So I also want to add something in time and energy. If somebody is taking your resources and using you like in some or the other way, be it your friends or anybody, always set a boundary or clear boundary that if it includes money or any kind of issues, just always tell them that I am not gonna be doing it if you are gonna misuse my resources, my talent, my creativity, or whatever you have as something which is very dear to you. For me, it's I used to give out free information just to everybody because I was always good at making people uh, motivated, helping them, and making them see their potential and making them grow, and helping them with their mental health, helping them. So when I started saying that they don't respect it, or I just don't do that anymore. If they come, ask me, I just tell them not more than that, not less than that, just in a perfect balance, because I respect myself, my creativity, my own gifts, and I don't want to give it to people who don't respect it, because it is something which is very close to you. So always and always keep close to your talents, your whatever God has gifted you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you love this video. I hope I have included everything. So always pause and think and set a boundary, because in the end, if you don't set a boundary, you are going to be creating resentment for that person. And if you don't want to break that, and if you don't want to spoil the friendship and stale it, then why not set a boundary and make a beautiful relationship? Because once you start doing it, you will start having beautiful relationship which respects you and you respect them. I hope you love this video and you may learn from this. I will try to be more consistent. Have a great evening.